Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar today on data analytics and artificial intelligence in table tennis. My name is Dora Jeller. I'm the High Performance and Development Operations Manager, and I'm here with Massimo Costantini, our ITTF High Performance Lead Coach, and Megha Gambhir, who is our guest today. Before we get into our topic, I just want to remind you all about our rules, our webinar code. Please keep yourself muted at all times. Please don't turn on your video. Just keep it off throughout, just so we all have a good experience. Don't press anything in regards to the presentations or the slides. And if you have any questions at all throughout the webinar, just leave them in our chat and we will get back to them at the end in our questions and answers session. So our guest today is Megha Gambhir from India. Hi, Megha. She is a management professional and technologist working on data and video analytics and artificial intelligence in sports. She's the co-founder and CEO of Stupa Sports Analytics, and she's been working with us on our weekly training lessons that you may or may not have seen. If you haven't, please check them out. They're great. And she has a technology background and has worked with renowned clients like the World Bank, United Nations, PepsiCo India, and Amex India. Hi, Megha. You're muted.
Okay, am I audible now?
Yes, you are.
Yes?
Hi.
Okay. Hi. Thank you so much for having me on a prestigious platform, and it's an honor to be part of this webinar series. Thank you so much for that.
Thanks for being with us. It's really great to have you here. So, without further ado, Max, take over.
Thank you, Dora. Thank you, Megha. Welcome to this webinar. It's very interesting topic today, and with our attendees, we have discussed so many times regarding the performance analysis, how to make a player a better player, how to make him, her improved, and so on. So today we have a very good opportunity to know even more, even something that we didn't think before, that something can also be applied in table tennis. So before getting there, Megha, I have just the first question, just to give us an overview of what you are doing. Tell us a bit more about Stupa, about what you have done so far. A little background from you.
Yeah, sure. So I'm a technologist, and I have 13 years of industry experience where I have been working in with multiple MNCs, purely in technology itself. And I have a deep connection with table tennis because of my husband, who happens to be a player, and now he's a coach as well. Because of my technology background and because of his sport experience, the table tennis experience, we thought of merging it together and bringing out something which is now called as Stupa. So Stupa we started in 2018, and that time it was nothing. I mean, it was like my research, which what I was doing. If you remember, I also spoke to you that time when I started working on performance analytics, and because of my background of technology, I could use the knowledge, and then saw what could be the potential opportunity in table tennis to use analytics as well as artificial intelligence. And right now, it's been like 1.5 years we have in this journey of Stupa. What we could do at the moment is we are having our product launched, one part of the product which is launched, which is working on match analysis. It's on a mobile app which is available. All the users need to do is just to upload the match, and they can get back the analysis. And the special part is the analysis is also backed up by video clippings, which is very important for a coach or a player to refer with the statistics, with the data, they can actually see the clippings and see the reality, what is happening. And there are upcoming features which we are right now working on, which is purely into analytics and artificial intelligence, which I will speak about a little later once we go through the slides.
Okay, great. Yes, well, I know a bit about you, and I know the things that you've been doing. Dora said before that we have collaborated with the realization of this the weekly lessons, the 5 weekly lessons. They were great, actually. And yes, so I have more questions actually for you, but I would keep for later on, and because I know that you brought a presentation where you can explain so many things today to us. And when the presentation is ready, so the floor is yours. Please go ahead.
Okay. So, yeah. So today I'm going to talk about data analytics and artificial intelligence. So this is the portion where we are working on right now. And I think that I would be able to give much more insights how it can be utilized in table tennis, especially. So to start with, so the first, I think, which is very important is the data. So data impacts everything, and sports is no exception. It's very true, because you might have seen data is being used in many other industries. I mean, you see analytics and data are being used in finance, maybe banking, e-commerce, healthcare, automobile. So in all other industry, you see that data has a huge impact, and it is being used heavily in taking a lot of important decisions by the business leaders. And that's where actually it creates a lot of importance, because it do impact many of your important decisions which you are taking in your business, or you're taking in sport, you're taking from your performance point of view. So what is data actually? So data is basically a collection of a lot of data points, or it can be numeric, it can be qualitative, it can be quantitative, which are derived from the observations. So what you have been observing, you just note them down, and that become a data, and you keep on recording those kind of observations, and that becomes a data record for you. So from that data, the analytics is something which you can actually derive, which I'm going to cover in the next slide. What is data analytics? So like I mentioned, from a record of the data points, or what you have been observing and noting down, from the large amount of data, you can actually analyze and uncover a lot of patterns, which actually provide you a lot of valuable insights, and then help you in taking some important decisions. So this is what analytics is all about. So when you have a data with you, and then you have another part on top of it, is you take that data, you churn it, you model it, you do a lot of modeling around it, and then you bring out a lot of insights and a lot of data-driven insights or statistical information which can be used. And data is actually the facts, is the true facts. It cannot lie, because it is based on the observation. It is based on what you have been seeing and then observing and then noting down. So this is data analytics. So why it is important? When I'm saying it is important, I'm going to relate its importance with table tennis or with sport as well now. Why it is important is because you can gain a lot of insights and optimize your resources. So when I'm talking about optimizing, you may have seen many players have been practicing for n number of hours. Someone spends 3-4 hours to 6 hours every day practicing about table tennis or doing the fitness training and all those things. So when you are spending so much time and effort into it, it is very important to know how to optimize these things. If, for example, you know that these are your specific areas where you need to improve on from the facts, from the data facts which you have with you already, you will be able to spend that time specific on those areas itself. hence optimizing that training schedule or optimizing that time itself. Similarly, you can see from an example which is happening in any other industry maybe. You are spending a lot of amount somewhere, and then you're just analyzing from the data that where you're expending actually is actually making sense or not. Maybe that spend which you are doing somewhere else, you take out from there and spend into something else, you might see that there are much more better results are coming out. So such kind of optimization can be done from the data. And the second is harness the knowledge and use it to spot the opportunities. Definitely, you can identify a lot of improvement areas because it gives you a kind of analysis of your SWOT. What is the strengths? What is the weaknesses? What are the threats? What are the opportunities? So it helps you identifying those different legs, and from where you can actually identify what are the new opportunities, what are the threats which you have to work on. And the third, and not the least, but more effectively determining the cause of the problems. So when you have data with you, it actually gives you true facts about what is happening. Just not that, it also tells you why you are doing it, or why eventually that situation has come up. I'm relating it to one of the examples. If, for example, you're playing and you might have seen or you might have observed that you have been missing certain points. So, for example, you're missing mostly fourth ball points. You're missing a point when you are playing usually a fourth contact, which is after serve return, the first attack and the fourth one. There are a number of possibilities why you are missing that fourth ball. It could be a possibility because there can be some n number of factors before that you have gone through, which led you to lose that point. It could be because you were doing that kind of in and out movement during the table, or it could be because of the late recovery. It could be because of your footwork. So there can be many causes behind a single problem. What data analytics can help you is that once you have the data, you know this many times the situations has occurred, and out of this, we can see 80% of the time I'm missing these points because the cause was this, because of late recovery, or because of the footwork, or maybe because I was going inside to the table and then took a later time for me to come outside of the table and then hitting a shot. So this actually also helps you in identifying those hidden anomalies which you cannot see from your naked eye, or you can just cannot actually identify while you are playing the match. So artificial intelligence is, I think most of us nowadays know what artificial intelligence, because we have been listening this word all around. Even anyone using Alexa or any or even the voiceovers from the customer cares when you're calling. So those are artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is basically simulating the human intelligence. What you see from a human eye, naked eye, and you comprehend that information, you understand that information, and then you have an ability to analyze, you draw conclusions out of it. Similar to that, artificial intelligence is replicating a human intelligence. Of course, it cannot be 100% like that, because we have an edge because we have created artificial intelligence, but it can actually help you derive a lot of conclusions from the data. So when I'm talking about analytics, artificial intelligence is part of analytics itself. It's part of advanced analytics. You have the data. With artificial intelligence, you can derive, or you can pretend, or you can predict a lot of complex concepts as well. You can actually solve those complex concepts, and you can derive much more helpful conclusions and predictions for the users. So why it is important? Artificial intelligence in sport, I will connect it with sport first. So when I mentioned that it is part of analytics, it actually gives you a lot of help in analyzing some sort of difficult models or difficult situations, and also helps you in predicting a lot of things which you cannot actually do it with just mere eye. Now, when I'm talking about artificial intelligence, it has two portions. One is the capturing of the data, and one is the churning and modeling of the data and bring out a lot of insightful information. So artificial intelligence itself can help you even in capturing the data. So you see that many of the players or coaches or analysts spend a lot of time in seeing the videos and then analyzing a lot of them, and then probably spending 6 hours or 8 hours of your day to analyze just one single video. This part, what you're doing is at the moment is you're capturing the data. You're seeing the videos and then you're capturing the data out of it, and then you're keeping it for your analysis. This is where artificial intelligence can help you. So like you are watching it, an artificial intelligence model can actually watch and take out the data from it. So like you are saying that, okay, the person is hitting a foreign topspin, or okay, this person has missed the point. Similar to that, artificial intelligence can tell you, okay, this person has missed the point. This person has played this stroke, and this is the speed of the ball, or this is what the footwork he's making. So that's where I think the beauty of artificial intelligence comes in, wherein it can automate many of the processes which takes or consumes a lot of your time. So what you are spending 8 hours a day in analyzing, artificial intelligence can do it like in quick minutes. So the second thing is speed up the task and processes with precision and accuracy. So it does allow a lot of coaches to do real-time analysis. It speeds up your task and with accuracy and precision. You might be having some sort of errors when you are noting it down because you're spending a lot of time, 8 hours, 6 hours, in validating one 60-minute video. However, artificial intelligence, because it has been written so nicely and modeled so nicely, so you'll be getting a lot of accurate and precise results. The third is predict behaviors and act accordingly. So what you are seeing from from the matches, or what you are seeing as a situation in a match, as a human, you can also actually predict, or you can also conclude that this is what is going to happen, or this is what something you think that this person should do. Similar to that, artificial intelligence can also predict behavior of the players based on the large amount of data. Behaviors so you can predict someone's behavior only if you know that person from long, right? You know that player from long. Similarly, if you give artificial intelligence a lot of data, it can also predict. It can also tell, because this person has played, for example, 100 matches in such different situations. So it can also predict that, because based on these sort of data set which it has, the player is the player is going to do this or play this kind of a shot in certain situations. So this is like how artificial intelligence can help you in analyzing your match, making it much faster, and predicting those kind of behaviors which you cannot even predict, because you cannot memorize all those things so fast. But artificial intelligence can do that. So here I'm going to talk about the usage in sport, and from the past kind of examples which I have given so far, I have more spoken about the player performance, and that's going to be the major topic as well, which I'm going to cover in upcoming slides also. Player performance, so artificial intelligence and data analytics can be used in performance of a player, enhancing the performance by analyzing the games, their practices, their physiological behaviors, their psychological behavior. And this is what I'm going to go much more detail in the coming slides. However, I'll just touch upon the fan engagement and event and broadcasting as well. The usage of analytics can also be there in fan engagement. For example, you can analyze what kind of fans are actually watching what type of content from social media, and where is your fan base lying, what is the gender which is more likely to have or to kind of see this kind of a game. So all these kind of numbers or statistics come from analytics. You can actually identify your fan base. You can identify what kind of fans are going to watch, what they are liking, what they are disliking. So all such things can be analyzed. Similarly, we can do a lot of analytics on event and broadcasting as well. So many of the events are being organized in different locations. So whenever an event organizer is organizing it, when you have a data, data from the past events, you will be able to analyze about how much, for example, how you have to organize an event, how much people you are expecting to come forward and watch that event, what, how much number of tickets you need to be available. So what would be the audience you will be having during first 4 days or the last 4 days. So this kind of analytics can actually help you in, setting up the right event also in place. So, but what we are going to talk about in this presentation more on the player performance, which I am going to cover in the upcoming slides. So for a player performance, what are the key indicators or the key data points which need to be captured first of all? It is very important for us to just identify what are those key important factors that needs to be captured, and then we can do or perform analytics on top of it. So the first and foremost, which is very important, is match and practice data points. So whatever matches you have been playing, whatever practice sessions you have been doing, so the data points from that can actually help you telling what exactly you have been missing or the kind of play you have been doing. Data from historic performances. This is very important actually, because what you analyze from a match or from a practice is just tells you about that particular situation or that particular match. However, historic performance is very important. For artificial intelligence, for analytics to work on it, it's very important to have a lot of your matches to be analyzed and then derive trends and patterns. Data related to fitness and biomechanics, which I likely mentioned that when you are playing, just not your techniques or tactics are important. It is very important how your body is behaving. You can only play at your best when your body biomechanics are placed rightly and your body is properly, in a proper stance or is making a proper squat. So all these factors related to biomechanics, related to your fitness are very important to identify the player performance. And the last is the psychological aspect, is mostly related to your mental, how much mental peace you're having and the kind of body language you're having when you're playing. So one by one, I'm going to cover these and I'm going to tell what are the key performance indicators or the data points which we can capture out of it and how analytics is going to impact and give those insights to you. So first of all, for game analysis, so when you're practicing or when you're playing a match, these are some of the key performance indicators. I think this is something which might be, most of the people or coaches already know. For example, serve and receive analysis, stroke, what type of strokes you're playing, where you are placing your balls, ball placement, and then how much brushing you are doing, ball spin and the speed of the ball. Active and passive, if you are too much active or too much passive, or it's a balance of both. What tactics are you using? What techniques are you using? So these are the performance indicators or the data points which you need to capture out of your practice or matches. And once you have these kind of things available with you, then you can perform a lot of analytics on top of it. But there is a one factor which I would like to call out here very quickly, is that analysis and analytics both are different. Okay, analysis is performed on one single event. However, analytics is performed in large amount of data. So when we are talking about game analysis or practice analysis, it's just that you are noting down a data from a match or a practice, and then you're taking out the data-driven insights from your match and the exact data points, and then you are analyzing what you have done right or what you have done wrong in this particular session or in this particular match. However, analytics is more towards large amount of data, which I'm going to cover in the next slide. So the impact of the analysis is going to be that you can get data-driven insight for your match, and you can understand how your opponent is playing, what you are playing, what kind of tactics opponent is using, and what wrong you are doing. And one important factor where it is helping is clear your apprehensions and provide facts. This is very important because I have worked with many coaches and players in this last year. And I have seen that many coaches and players have a lot of apprehensions about their game. So they feel that something which is happening, maybe a particular stroke or maybe a particular drill is very important because they have seen a player is missing these kind of shots or these kind of drills in a match. However, when they see the data, it brings a lot. When they see, they realize that what they have been thinking is not exactly the same it's happening during the match. So because it happens, there's a study also which proves that you cannot remember 100% of the things from your match. You only tend to remember 30-40% of the things out of it. And that's why you create a lot of apprehensions based on your perception, based on what you think your game is. You make a lot of perceptions about your analysis as well. This is how game analysis can actually help you in clearing out those apprehensions and the kind of notions which you have built. So I have given some sort of examples how you can analyze your game. For example, on the first picture, you can see a TT table, which is divided into 15 different zones, and you can see there are different numbers coming into these different zones. So what exactly it is showing is that, for example, you have analyzed a match, and what you can see, the kind of information is that from which side of the zone you have missed most of the errors. The first picture is showing you that what errors you have made and from which side of the table, from which zone of the table you have missed the errors. So this gives you a lot much information about how and what exactly you are missing, and what area is more, for example, prominent that opponent is giving you, or what area you need to be, for example, improving on. So similar to that, there are two other pictures as well. The second one is telling about your basic statistics, like what is your forehand winner rate, backhand winner rate, and error rate. Athlete profiling is purely data analytics. So the previous one which we talked about was analysis, and now we are talking about analytics. And athlete profiling is basically when you have large amount of data, where I was speaking about historic performances. When you keep on analyzing your everyday practice or your every time matches, you will be able to gather all that information in one place. Okay, but with a human eye, you cannot actually analyze everything, all the 50 or 100 matches, and derive patterns and trends out of it, right? So here you need analytics. What analytics is going to do is that it will derive a lot of patterns and trends and predict behaviors. I mean, it can tell you, for example, how many times you have come across a situation where there was a deuce, and what kind of strokes and what kind of behavior you were carrying at that moment. Were you too stressed, or were you playing a particular service when you're at a 10-all situation? And it also tells you your strengths and weaknesses, because when you have a large amount of data, it tells you right those points where you're missing the points from all those historic performances. So I'm going to give some of the examples from here. For example, one is the top one. You can see the leading and trailing summary. This example is showing, this is the data from one of the players when a player is leading. So this is from 20 odd matches. So you can actually get the summary from 50, 100 matches as well. So from those 20 odd matches, we can see that a player who is leading 10-8 and 10-9, this is the distribution of the percentage he is winning and losing the game. Green is showing the winning and red is showing the losing percentage. For example, that player is leading 10-9 and 70% of the times he wins that match, and 30% of the times he loses that match or that particular game. Similarly, we can see the deuce points. And it's very interesting. You see that whenever there's a situation of 8-all, from 100%, 61% of the time he's losing. And whenever there's a situation of 9-all, 56% of the time he's winning. So you see this kind of a comparison you can do only you have large amount of data, and analytics comes into picture and play a big important role to tell you what kind of behaviors and trends you have been using. There's one important point I would like to mention here. For example, this graph you're seeing, which is on a white box, which has blue color bars. So this is basically telling from all those matches at what ball contact you have missed most of the points. So serve is the first contact, receive is the second, third is the first attack, and the fourth contact and the fifth contact. So while you are making all these contacts, what is that particular contact you have missed most of the points? So in this graph, you can see that player has missed 280 times. He has missed the points from the fourth contact, which is, a very important information for a coach, that from those 20, odd matches, we can figure out that he is missing most of the points from fourth ball. It could be a possibility. There can be n number of causes as well behind missing these points, which can be identified further analyzing and using a lot of artificial intelligence, and then it can suggest what is the cause as well behind this losing fourth ball contact. Similar to this, we have another patterns as well, like deuce shot patterns. It is telling you how many total deuce points you have played and how many times you have got an advantage up, what type of strokes you have played during that deuce situation. So this is a very kind of starting or an initial kind of analysis which you can do from analytics. However, there can be much more deeper information also you can get from analysis or analytics. Comparative analysis is more towards comparing your performance, which is very important. So when you have your record of past performances, you can actually monitor your performance. What artificial intelligence can do here is it can actually benchmark your performance with the elite players. It can actually monitor and suggest you that what has been your performance graph is look like. So all these kind of comparative things can also be driven by artificial intelligence and data analytics, where they can provide you this kind of information. For example, your foreign conversion rate is 48% usually. However, you are aspiring to be a Malong or maybe any other elite player. His conversion rate is somewhere approximately around 80%. So if you want to come to that level, you can even compare that kind of benchmarks as well. So where your performance is lying against the elite players. So this kind of comparative analysis and also analyzing your opponents as well is part of comparative analysis, where you can analyze your opponents and how you can compare your game and his game, and you can come up with strategies against those players. Psychological analysis is another very important part, and these are the key important factors which we can actually capture as a data points, and then we can analyze them. So one is posture analysis, squat analysis, foot tracking, HRM analysis, fitness analysis. We have been doing a lot of work around these areas right now. In fact, we are already doing posture, squat, and fitness analysis. We are doing a lot of R&D right now on HRM and foot tracking. So this is basically, you can take these kind of data points from artificial intelligence. When I'm saying how you can capture it, you can actually capture your posture deviations, your squat deviations, from what degrees it is deviating from the ideal situation, and how much footstep, for example, you are taking. What is your heart rate when you are playing a particular kind of a drill? What should be your ideal heart rate when you are playing during a match? And what is your, you can quantify your explosivity, your agility. So all such things you can do based out of analytics. That is what artificial intelligence can do. What we are building or working on right now is that from the camera itself, you can derive a lot of analysis on your squat, your footwork, your posture, and it can give you a lot of deeper information that tells you that what exactly you are. So how it is going to help you is that once you analyze these things, it is going to help in injury prevention, which is very, very important for the player. It tells you if for example, you have a wrong posture while playing, it will upfront tell you that this could lead to an injury. This could lead to scoliosis, or this could lead to a back injury or maybe an ankle injury. So that is very important for a player to understand how it is prone to the injury. And then you can work on the specific fitness based on the inputs from the data or the analysis, and you can generate maximum output. So these are some of the examples, pictures where you can see that how we can see the kind of analysis what degree of shift while you're doing, and below screenshots, if you see, you can see how we are showcasing what body weight you are having while you're hitting, what kind of steppings you are taking when you are going from backhand to forehand. So all kind of analysis can be done through artificial intelligence. And I mean, that itself can tell you all these things for you to quickly turn around and start working on the improvements. So I think I have covered more or less the player performance part. I'm just going to touch up a little on the fan engagement and broadcasting. It is not purely on the analytics side, but it is the analysis perspective, which I'm going to give here. So from the fan perspective, I feel that it is very important that we are providing much more quantitative data and the insights to the fans as well. So if you see, it is being heavily used right now in many other sports like soccer, in cricket, in rugby, basketball. When they are being streamed live on television or in YouTube, you see a lot of analytics or analysis comes around. Analytics is when they are talking about a player behavior or a profile that this player is usually plays this. This is analytics. But when they are talking about particular statistics of that match, it is analysis. And this provides a lot of much more deeper insights to the users, and they have a much better watching experience. It's basically enriching their experience in watching and understanding the game. When a user is watching and he knows, okay, for example, Simon Gauzy has actually played so-and-so forehand winners and so-and-so backhand winners in this match. Or he has used most of the time banana flip for receiving. So this kind of an information is very useful and insightful for the fans to actually relate to the players as well as to the game as well. That's where I feel that analytics plays much more important role, not just with player performance, but also with engaging the fans as well. So these are some of the examples which we tried doing it in one of the league happening in India, UTT, Ultimate Table Tennis. So we provided a lot of statistics which were live streaming or broadcasted on the TV, and we were showing what kind of services, what kind of statistics they are having, backhand winners, how many forehand winners, how many attacks, how many super serves, or how many kind of returns they have been using during the match. So I think now I've come to the end where I've spoken about how analytics can be used for different aspects of a player performance and also in fan engagement. I'm going to quickly cover some of the features we are right now providing from Stupa, and also some of the features we are right now working on. So this is, for example, the app is available on Play Store and App Store, and you can download it, and you can see a lot of match analysis, broadcasting stats, and fan engagement statistics, which we are right now working on. And we are also working on some of the upcoming features, which is related to artificial intelligence. So I'm going to show you one of the video. I think, yeah. So I'm going to show you one of the video which we have processed from artificial intelligence. This is a video which you're going to see now. It's being from our center. And you'll see on top, there is ball speed, ball point rally count, and the shot rally count. And you'll also see a red dot, which is telling you where the ball is pitching. So you just imagine that from the mobile camera itself, you're actually the real-time match is happening and you're getting these stats. So this is not something that you are sitting and then taking the notes and then bringing out the data. It is happening live. So this is, you can play the video and we can see. So we can see the shot speed, we can see the total rally count, point rally count, and the score is appearing automatically. And it is basically happening real time through artificial intelligence. Yeah, I think this much is enough. We can move to the next slide. So are we showing the next slide?
I think I'm not sure. I think no, there is no more. That was the last
Okay.
the last slide. That was very cool, actually. It was very
Thank you.
cool. Yeah, I think that was the last. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I think that is all from my end. So you can probably let me know what questions are there, and I would be happy to answer those questions.
Yeah, well, that was very impressive, I have to say. And you know, while you were talking, I was just imagining the situation that normally we as coaches we are getting through the thing, you know. So we want to predict. We want to make the players, alert about something that could happen within next rally, you know. So so this kind of tools help. It's really great, and I think it's this the let's say the next frontier of the table tennis knowledge and so on, because you can uncover, as you said in the beginning, you can uncover so many things behind a performance, not only of the match or the game or the rally, of the strokes. You can how to say, make super selective analysis about everything, even when you toss the ball to make the service, whether the ball is well tossed or not. So congratulations for the whatever you are doing. It's great stuff. It's really great stuff. Definitely will help the table tennis coaches, players, passionate to engage more and to get more knowledge on this aspect. Very fascinated from my point of view. I always loved it. I have some questions for you, and I would start talking about the patterns and situation. How can artificial intelligence extract data from certain events where players normally they have a sudden decision in a very short time, and you don't know those decisions whether were dictated by something planned or something improvised or something. So how artificial intelligence can extract the exact data that you need for?
So basically, I mean, I completely understand that in the match, there have been many situations when you actually act suddenly. But there is a very important part here, is that what you are actually behaving or acting is based on your either muscle memory or your subconscious mind, right? You might have been a habit of doing that kind of a, or the kind of a play or when you're playing, because you have had faced such kind of situations and you were prepared to do those kind of a things. So here in artificial intelligence, what it does is that when you have a large amount of data, that's why I was giving a lot of emphasis on the large amount of data. When you have been analyzing a lot of information or a lot of data, you will be able to actually just pick up those points where you have seen that in such certain situations, this is the behavior I have been doing. Of course, that situation might have been a sudden situation in a match, but this could be a possibility that this sudden situation might have happened 10 times or might have happened multiple times. So artificial intelligence is going to actually pick up those areas or pick up those kind of patterns which you have been following from large amount of data. So that's where when you are playing something which is in a sudden situation, you are playing something which is happening at random. But when it is being recorded multiple times, you have those kind of recordings, you have those kind of data points. It will be able to derive those factors wherein you feel that something is happening very often. Although we feel that it can be very sudden or it can be at random, but it might be a situation that it has happened so many times in so many number of matches. So that's why artificial intelligence is able to pick those kind of inputs for you.
Okay, so you need a large amount of data in order to have the picture, let's say, a complete view. But the results that you receive from this analysis and so on, or analytics in this case, is consistent in what players and coaches perception have about that particular, because I can tell from my experience, so you are there, maybe your player 9-0 always make the push, for example, it gets passive, let's say it gets passive, and then when you get into the understanding, you realize that at 9-0 that player was just afraid to attack. You know what I mean? So it was not actually, the perception of the player maybe and the coaches maybe can be different. So is it consistent, the results? Have you seen any consistency on this, or they are too different? The machine can give a result and the player coaches maybe they have different results.
Yeah, and I would say that so far with the coaches I have worked and the players I have worked with, I have seen that 80% of the times I've seen that players and especially players, I would say, they have apprehensions about many kind of things which they do in a match, and more or less what the analysis is telling them is something different. They are having, or the perceptions are very different. So I won't say that it is always similar, because they make their perceptions or notions based on their what they feel about their game. However, analytics always show you the mirror and tells you the exact, and with the facts as well, that this is what you have done. And I've seen the kind of difference in the opinion as well, wherein players have a different opinion and a perception. However, analytics tells you a different, altogether a different thing, which is where it has become more important for you to actually see and you use analysis, because you'll get to know more facts about it.
Clear. Yes, it's absolutely true. Interesting, by the way. I have another question, but I think you already answer how to identify some criticality. So who can have the best benefit on this? It is more for players who are developing their game, their tactics, or more for the formed players. They already achieved a certain level. So who will benefit more on this? Maybe both.
Yeah, I personally feel that it is benefiting for both. However, the benefits are different at both levels. For example, it depends what type of need is there. So, when you are, for example, at a cadet level or a junior level, the need is more towards working on the technique side and on your, for example, your footwork or maybe techniques, your body and ball contact timings. So all such kind of analysis are going to give you much more information and refine your techniques and prevent you from injuries as well. So that kind of analysis is going to help junior players. However, at a bigger level where adults are playing, it is going to be more towards creating strategies, tactics against the opponents. It is also more towards working on the specific areas, because from the match analysis, from the practice analysis, once you get to know this is where you're losing the points, this is where you're gaining most of the points. So you will be having the exact data to work on the specific areas while you're training. So the benefits are different for different level of players, but it is important for all levels.
Yeah, well, I guessed it, but I wanted to ask you anyway, because I believe that this kind of analytics is definitely helping any kind of players, even you know, the very basics. You can show, you can make the players better aware, let's say, about what they do. You know, what are their tendencies and so on. Well, we are receiving actually several questions, quite interesting, and but I have a couple of more, two, three actually, exactly. So I heard before, maybe please correct me if I'm wrong, that this kind of artificial intelligence can be implemented in small devices. I mean, you don't need super you know, high tech equipment. Nowadays we are using the smartphone anywhere, in any moment, while we eat, while we do our stuff, while we work, of course. So that is great, I believe. So it's like that. So we can implement in mobile phone.
Actually, yes. And I would say that that is where I was having this vision, because I feel that right now, if you see, I mean, if we want analytics to be used heavily by all level of players, amateur, recreational, or professional, or advanced level, it is very important to have or provide in a such a way. I mean, you can, I mean, bundle it in such a way that people can actually use it. If I'm going to provide a hefty setup, which costs a huge amount, and then you have to set up that, and then only you can process the videos and test it, nobody will actually pay that. I mean, we do have that much of a time also, and maybe, I mean, many of the young players or small academies or small players, amateurs, will not be able to make use of it. And that's what I was having a vision for, that I'll create a technology, or I'll create a mobile driven technology which can be used on mobile. Of course, artificial intelligence right now is already being used with the help of high speed camera, but what we are trying to bring in is that it can be used through mobile cameras as well. Because right now you see that as technology is evolving, all the mobile cameras, I mean, the mobiles are also evolving. I mean, you have good mobile cameras with you, with I mean, wide angle, and then with kind of good cameras as well. So we were thinking, why not to actually bring the technology to this level, where a person need not to buy anything else, but can use just a mobile phone and do the analytics.
Yeah, well, as you were saying, the mobile developing, evolving, they are faster and faster. So technology can be applied in the future better and better. You were saying that okay, your background is high IT background, but also you have a background in table tennis, because your husband is a coach. And so you have developed this technology or your knowledge inside basically an academy where you daily work along with your team and staff and so on. Do you think that this kind of approach, you know, so this kind of help can also be applied in a small places? I'm thinking about you know, there are a lot of clubs. Maybe they have just 2-3 tables. They have a big room, or situation are different. Like many others, they have 30 tables and so on. So do you think it's applicable anywhere, or it requires some specific setting, let's say?
So it does not require any specific setting at the moment, because what we are working on is bringing that technology to a mobile. And in every kind of a center, what you just need is a tripod and a mobile, and you just need to place it 6 feet away from the table, and then I mean, turn on the recording from the app, and you'll be able to see the analysis and the result. However, definitely you may need to do some sort of settings in the camera or in the mobile itself. But I mean, from the center's perspective, I would say that more or less if you can afford, definitely the similar situation solution can work for the high-speed camera as well, and it will give much faster and much more accurate results. So if someone can afford that kind of a setup, then it is good. Otherwise, it can be doable from a mobile as well.
Great, great. So it's absolutely good. I have one more, and then we have 1, 2, 3 more questions for you, and the time always is fine. Since you are involved in this, how do you see table tennis high tech in next future?
I feel, I mean, with the kind of technology which is evolving at the moment.
Are we safe as the coaches? Can we continue to do the job, or maybe the machine will?
No. So see, nothing can replace a human actually. But yes, machines are basically to assist humans, and that is what I think it is going to do. With the COVID situation also coming into the picture, I think many of the people have started using these gadgets as well and started coming to online as well. So that kind of an element which wasn't there earlier. Many people are now using online coaching and all that. But I feel in future, many of the things related to IoT, which right now even have started coming up with sensors, sensor-based tables or sensor-based racket, which we are working on, and the technology which is like augmented reality or virtual reality. So AR, VR can be, a good sort of things which can come forward and help the players to just practice in a virtual environment. They just need not to go outside. They can just imagine and have a kind of a table, and then at home itself from a virtual augmented reality, and they can start playing. So I think these type of things are going to come up and will going to help players and give more comfort to them to analyze, to practice, and all those things.
I see. Yes, well, I believe that more and more technology will be getting in our sports, and we will see some great feature in the future. I'm eager to to wait and see. Megha, we have 3 questions from our guests, and the first one is from Chandra Vinay, I guess is from India. Can you please speak about some specific improvements that one of the athletes has made leveraging analytics?
So I can talk about some of the examples from what I have worked on so far. I have worked with Kanak Jha as well. I've worked with Manav Batra as well. So I can probably take some of the examples from there. How they could actually.
Kanak Jha from USA, yeah?
Yes, Kanak Jha from USA,
okay.
And Manav Batra from India. So these are some of the players with whom we are working on, and we have seen specific improvements as well while they were leveraging the analytics. So one example from Manav is that there is a lot much sort of information we could gather how he, for his footwork actually, because he was making some sort of errors on a particular combination of strokes. And that we could realize or we could analyze after we have gone through his 15-20 matches. We could analyze that this particular combination is creating a problem. And then digging more deeper into it, we could analyze that this is because of the footwork and because of his hand being down from the table while he's hitting a shot. So these kind of aspects, when we realized, then I think the similar feedback was given to the coach as well and to the fitness trainer as well, and they started working on. And we have seen this was done last year in September. And you see after that, Manav have improved a lot. In fact, he became world #1 in December last year. So it was after we did a lot of work on his performance. And we are still working on many of the aspects where which we could derive from analytics, which a coach cannot actually see from a naked eye or probably he knows, but he's not able to prioritize at times. So this is one sort of, example which I have given. I have others as well.
Okay, no, it's fine. So coaches need a third eye to watch better, actually. So yeah, we have another question from William Olin. I'm not sure where is coming. How do you get those large amount of data? Digital processing or manual?
So when I'm talking about artificial intelligence, I'm talking about digital processing only. And how we are going to collect that large amount of data is every day you are going for, you are going for practice, or every other day you're playing matches in the tournaments. Every month you're having tournament. Of course, it's not there in COVID time, but usually it is. So when you are playing and you are practices, or you are playing during the matches itself, you can capture those those videos. You can process them through artificial intelligence. Of course, there has to be a tool that can do that processing, which we are building at the moment, or which we have almost completed. So that kind of processing can actually help you in accumulating that amount of data. And then within a month or 2 months itself, you'll be having information about your trends and patterns, because this much amount of information is being processed by AI, and it's very fast. I mean, like I mentioned, you are playing, and at that moment itself, it's processing, and it is giving you the results.
So yeah, of course, in this case, AI is definitely super helpful because the quantity of data is absolutely huge. We have one more last from USA, from Yasna rather. The question is, on the high level of play, which is on the international stage, coaches are live analyzers of the match and weakness of opponents, as well as their on athletes, including their behaviors. What would be additional benefit for the high level athletes besides the data that coach already sees?
Yeah, so I think, when you are playing or when you are in a match, definitely, it is very rightly said, a coach is watching it very closely and monitoring, and whenever the player is coming during the game break, the coach is able to give the feedback. But I think, how it is going to help in two ways. One is that sometimes the player, when it comes out and discuss with the coach, he is in his sort of mind. Sometimes he listens and he doesn't listen the coach as well, because things are going in his mind as well. And when coach is giving an advice, when coach is giving the advice with the data, see, this is here you are missing. See, this is where the opponent is placing the ball. This is where you have to hit him. So these kind of inputs from the coach, by showing the data itself, will give much more trust. I'm not saying that the players will not have trust to the coaches, but I'm saying that they do have their own perceptions and notions as well when they are playing. And sometimes it is so heavy that they are not able to grasp that information from the coaches. So when the coaches are able to show that kind of an information with the facts, with the data, it will be much more helpful to the players. And the second part is that information will be more precise. Of course, the coach is sitting and analyzing the match from a qualitative data perspective. I mean, you cannot capture the speed, or you cannot capture the exact zones. I mean, of course, it's back and forehand, or maybe sometimes that, okay, it's long shot as well. But the data is going to give you more precision about what exact has happened. So this is, I think, the added benefit where it is going to give you a coach.
So something strengthening the trust and make some more objective and not subjective, something like that. Exactly. Dora, I think I give the mic back to you, and we are in conclusion of this super interesting webinar meeting with Megha Gambhir. Dora? You're muted.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Megha. It was really great to have you, and I think we've all learned a lot of new things. It's really great to see what is possible with artificial intelligence and how the process of analytics can go in the future with the help of that. I think it's not something that a lot of people spend a lot of time on currently, so it's great that you do and you share your knowledge with us. We certainly all profit from that. So thank you again for
so much.
making time. So yeah, thank you everyone for once again attending our webinars. Of course, I'd like to invite you to our next one, which is going to be on Thursday, the 20th of August, 2 o'clock Central European Summer Time. We're going to talk about the habits of rising stars, what they are doing to keep being rising stars. And we're going to have Pritika Pavade of France, Nina Mittelhan of Germany, Horacio Cifuentes of Argentina, and Darko Jorgic of Slovenia with us. And we're very much looking forward to that as well. So thank you from my side. Max?
Yeah, thank you also from my side. Thank you, Megha. And
thank you, sir.
It was really great and good luck for everything, for your future projects and so on. And yes, guys, we will meet again on August 20. It will be very interesting again. But when is not interesting? Just tell me when is not interesting. So it's always interesting. So thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye-bye and ciao.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.